Hi everyone, it's Sam. So welcome back if you've done a class before with me, or welcome to today's class. So today we're going to be working into a power vinyasa flow. So this might be a little bit stronger than some of the other flows that I've posted so far. We're building into various levels, so again, kind of giving you a foundation level, and we build on that. Please be completely aware of your body here. Take whatever you need, whatever feels good for you. Don't feel like you need to do every single pose that I offer out today. If you are more beginner, then really being mindful in this practice, so knowing that you can modify, that you can take rest whenever you need to, or maybe starting out into any of the softer flows that I've uploaded and then work into this if it feels a bit much for you today. So if you can get 2 blocks and a strap handy, that will be really good, just to get yourself set up. And then when you're ready, come meet me back on the mat and we will start in everybody's favourite toe stance. So setting yourself up for toe stance. So you want to have your feet about hips distance apart here, tucking the toes under. So you might need to actually encourage these little toes underneath as well, getting them all tucked underneath. So sitting back is a little bit harder. If you want to, you can sit forward and then come out of it if you need. So grounding down here, taking the hands down towards the lap, and then allowing yourself to close down the eyes here. And starting to bring that awareness inwards. Noticing the breath moving through the body. Maybe you can notice any emotions, any physical sensations that are arising here today, arising in this pose. Maybe noticing any frustration that might be coming up, and see if you can just sit with it. Scanning the rest of the body, so in this quite intense posture, are you also holding on to anything else that you don't need to? Can you soften maybe through the hands, through the jaw, through the eyebrows? Can you keep that breath soft, steady, fluid, inhaling and exhaling through the nose? Breathe in here, you're doing amazing, we're nearly done. Take 3 deep breaths, so inhaling through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, sigh it all out. 1 more, amazing, inhale. And exhale, sigh it all out. Nice, softly blinking, open the eyes, start to move slowly and gently forward, planting the palms of the hands down, tapping the tops of those feet to the mat. Oh, who knew the toes could create such fire in the body? Nice. Feel that nice sweet release. And then come to sit all the way back down. So making your way into a comfortable seated position. So this might be kneeling, or maybe coming into a sukhasana, so cross-legged position. Maybe even taking a block underneath your sit bones, allowing that chest to rise up here, feeling grounded through the lower body. So I'm going to work with a pranayama today, which is Kapalabhati breath. So this is breath of fire, or skull shining breath. And this really helps to generate this heat, this tapas in the body that we really want to get going to build into our power practice today. If you are pregnant, probably advise that you don't take this. You just take a gentle inhale, exhale through the nose, like your Ujjayi breath, tapping into this here. otherwise, just talking you through this, the Kapalabhati is actually an active exhale, passive inhale. So we actively draw that navel in. So it's like this pumping action. As we draw the belly in on the exhale, the inhale, we don't actively breathe it in, it just happens. So just to show you from the side as well. So as we come into this pumping action, you exhale and you draw it in. So that's the kind of engagement that we're looking for. If this all seems a bit weird, just go with it. Some deep inhales and exhales. So we're gonna inhale fully, exhale completely, then take 15 breaths of Kapalabhati. We then exhale all the breath out. We take a really deep inhale through, inhaling all into the lungs. We engage our Jalahara bandha, which is our throat bandha. We draw it down and then we hold that breath in, so nourishing all the lungs, sending that air, that oxygen to the body, and then we release it, let it go. So we'll take that 2 times. So when you are ready, getting yourself into a comfortable seat, we inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth, breathe it out. Inhale halfway. And begin. Hold it out. Inhale, breathe it all in. Holding the breath here, drawing chin towards the chest, and we hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the neck, release it out. Amazing effort, guys. So coming back to that gentle inhale and exhale through the nose. Maybe noticing a slight shift in your energy already. Maybe expansiveness of the lungs. If that felt enough for you, then just stay in there. Otherwise, we'll take another round. So preparing the body. Inhale deeply into the belly. Exhale, sigh it all the way out. Empty the lungs. Inhale halfway. And pulse for 15. Hold it out. Deep inhale, top of the head. Hold it in, but can you be relaxed? Draw your chin towards your chest and we hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the chin, exhale. Nice. Then coming back to your gentle inhales and exhales. And noticing that energy, maybe the heart beating a little bit faster, the breath feeling a bit fuller, and then blinking open the eyes if you had them closed down. Taking that block from beneath you if you took that option, and we'll start to make our way all the way into our tabletop position here. So spreading wide through the fingertips, shoulders on top of the wrist, hips on top of the knees, taking a couple rounds of cat-cow. So inhaling, tailbone reaches high, chest opens through, gaze up to the sky. As you exhale, tuck away with that tailbone, push away through the shoulder blades, gaze to your belly. Take a couple more rounds of this movement with your breath. Maybe starting to engage your Ujjayi breath here already. So connecting that breath to movement. Finding that Ujjayi breath, that oceanic sound, the inhale and exhale through the nose, restriction of the throat. And come back to tabletop. Gonna start to add a little bit of heat into these cat-cows now. So 2 options. As you inhale, you can take your cow. As you exhale, round, take your cat. Left knee draws to left elbow, place it down. We take it on the other side. If you want to add on from here, tuck under the toes, finding this lifted tabletop position. As you inhale, cow back. As you exhale, keeping onto the tiptoes, draw that left knee towards left elbow. Nice. And we'll take 3 each side. Moving with your breath, whichever level you wish to. Really using that breath to keep you steady. Engaging through that core. Nice. And then when you're done, maybe lowering the knees. Sitting back, shaking out those wrists. Amazing. And coming all the way back into your tabletop position, we'll start to take a couple of wrist exercises. So finding your tabletop, start to take circles, shifting the shoulders over the wrists. Working them one way and then the other way. Breathe in here. Maybe taking the fingertips out to the side, shifting the weight from side to side, maybe a little bend into the elbows. Maybe you can take the fingertips all the way around. Maybe you want to sit back, take one at a time, otherwise keeping a little gentle bend into your elbows, maybe starting to shift that weight back here. So feeling that nice stretch through the wrist, through the forearms. And turning the fingertips all the way back round, taking the top of the left hand down, spreading wide through fingertips, opening through the top of the wrist. And take it on the other side. You can take both at the same time if you feel comfortable to do that, whatever feels right. Nice, take it all the way back round. And take it back, shake it out. Nice, take your arms out long in front of you and then start to clench the fists and then flick like you're flicking water off them. And we'll take 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it over. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, shake it out. Nice. Feeling that energy come into the wrist. Start to take it all the way back, tabletop position. From your tabletop, start to extend that left leg out long, so in line with the left hip as you raise all the way up to kneeling. Take the hands, interlace them behind the head, squeezing the thighs together here, pushing down through the top of the left foot here. And then we're going to start to engage the obliques here, so inhaling. So you exhale, lower all the way to the right and take it back. We'll take 5 more. Keeping those thighs engaged. Imagine that you're sandwiched between 2 panes of glass here. So we're not leaning forward, we're leaning completely in line with the right hip. Totally lost count. I imagine we've done them. Then take your left hand to the left leg. Inhale, the right arm reaches all the way up and over. Nice side stretch. Take it all the way back, plant the hands, come back to your tabletop and we take it on the other side. So the right leg extends, lift all the way up and out of the body. Interlace hands behind the head, squeeze that core, squeeze the thighs, inhale. Exhale takes you over and back. So we take 5 more. Maybe you can start to play with leaning a little bit further. Again, if that feels right for you, you should feel that core start to feel a little bit spicy now. A little bit alive. 1 more. And take the right hand to the right leg, the left arm reaches all the way up and overhead. Feeling that nice stretch through that left arm, through the left side body. 1 more breath. Nice, exhale. Come down, plant the hands, take that right knee, back in towards your tabletop position. Start to walk your hands about another palm's distance in front of you, keeping those fingertips spread really, really wide here. So focus in throughout this whole class on keeping that engagement through the thumb and the first finger, and like you're gripping hold of the mat. Wrap your triceps around and in. Tuck under the toes, hover the knees here, lift them up for 3, for 2, push back a little bit more for 1. Then start to lift the sit bones all the way up to the sky. Come to your Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And taking those little wriggles, there's a little bit of movement here that you need. Maybe you want to keep a generous bend in the knees here, working into this down dog, finding that length through the spine. Maybe pedaling out the legs, stretching the hamstrings. Maybe shake a yes and no with the head, releasing tension through the neck, through the shoulders. Nice. You do you, this is your practice. Then take the gaze in between the hands, rise up to the tiptoes and tiptoe the feet behind the wrists, going as close as you can. And then keeping the feet hips distance apart, generous bend in the knees, folding heavy over those front thighs. Come into a nice forward fold. Maybe your chest can connect to your thighs. Maybe holding onto opposite elbows, sway from side to side, ragdoll pose. Releasing through the neck, through the jaw, anything here, let it go, be soft. Enjoy this moment. Then from here, taking the hands, interlace them behind your back. Start to bend into the knees. We peel the chest up, so we're bending quite a lot into the knees. We lift, we lengthen. Open through the chest. And as you exhale, slowly start to sink it back down. Feeling that heaviness in the upper body. And allow those hands to just rest behind you here. Opening through the shoulders. Keeping your bent knees, or maybe you want to start to straighten through the legs. So finding your Pada Bandha, your feet lock here. So pushing and drawing those feet down and together, keeping your stability. One more breath. And release the hands all the way back down towards the earth. Little bend in the legs, start to roll the spine all the way up to standing. Head coming up last of all. And as you reach the top, take an inhale, draw your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, roll them down the back. Nice, take one more, inhale. Finding that energy to fill you up, exhale, release, let go of the tension. Nice, working through a couple rounds of Sun Salutation A and then coming into Sun Salutation B. So finding your Tadasana at the top of the mat. So your feet can be underneath your hips or big toes to touch, heels slightly apart, whichever feels right for you. Lift all 10 toes, spread them as wide as you can and then ground them back down to the earth. Slight internal rotation of the thighs. Drawing in, engaging that Uddiyana Bandha, that Mula Bandha. So it's like we're drawing in and up through that belly button. Hands to heart center. Inhale, the arms reach high. Maybe the gaze follows. Exhale, hinge from your hips, bending the knees if you need to, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, gaze forward or fingertips to the mat. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to your plank pose. Hold in here for one breath, lowering the knees if you need to. Pushing away through those shoulder blades, push away through the heels. Lower down to the knees. Arch through the back, lower chest and chin beneath the hands. Inhale, lower the hips, snake forward, open Bhujangasana. Hands underneath, we lift, we peel the chest. Push down through tops of the feet. We take one breath here. And then maybe we can start to push down through the hands, top of the feet. Lift up a tiny bit higher. only if you want to and you feel ready. Then tucking under the toes, push back, downward facing dog. Nice. Taking any little movements that you need to here. Really wrapping those triceps around and in, pushing away through those hands to find that engagement through the body. 2 more breaths here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Nice, 1 more. Take the gaze in between your hands. Bend your knees back towards your sit bones and then step that right foot forward. The left foot comes to meet. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, hands reach overhead. Exhale takes you all the way back down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to your plank pose. Again, holding here or lowering down the knees if you need to. Firing up that core, finding that one long line of energy from crown of the head to soles of the feet. Option here to take knees, chest, chin, or lower the knees down, taking half chaturanga. So we inhale, shifting the body forward, finding that core engagement, and then as you exhale, start to squeeze the elbows in. Lower down, we hold halfway here. Inhale, exhale, push all the way back up, halfway. Nice. And lower all the way down, amazing. Inhaling, cobra, or maybe you feel ready for full upward facing dog, so lifting the knees off the mat, rolling the triceps around, engage the thighs. Exhale, tuck under, push back, downward facing dog. Nice, take a few breaths here. Knowing that anytime you can take child's pose if any of this gets a bit much for you. And coming back to your stillness. Bend the knees. Allow this to spring you forward as you step that left foot forward. Right foot meets the left. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands reach overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center, coming into Surinamaskar B here. So finding our Utkatasana. So again, same with the feet placement. We bend the knees, we send the sit bones back, squeeze the thighs as we lift up and out through the chest. And don't allow this to sink here. Lowering that tailbone down, finding that core engagement. Inhale. Exhale, hands join together, we fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to your plank pose. Options here. Knees, chest, chin, half chaturanga, or if you're ready, full chaturanga. We inhale, shift the weight over so shoulders are over the wrists. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, tops of the feet, squeeze the thighs, open the chest, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Coming into our warrior one. So from downward facing dog, pivot that left foot 45 degrees. You can have the toes in a little bit more if you have any knee issues, or you can come to crescent lunge. So we step the right foot in between the hands, power down through the feet to lift us all the way up. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Aiming to have the hips forward here, right hip back, left hip forward, or crescent lunge. Being really mindful of this back knee, that it doesn't feel like it's twisting. You do not want that. We want that power and we want that engagement through the body. Inhale takes you up. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back, take your vinyasa. Any option that you want to. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, same on the left. So take your foot position on the right, pivot it, 45. Step that left foot in between your hands. Maybe walking the feet a bit wider if you know that you need to modify this way. Ground down to rise all the way up. Virabhadrasana one, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back, take your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, release it through the mouth. One more, inhale. Exhale, release it. Take the gaze in between the hands. You can either bend the knees and power forward with one leg. Maybe you want to take a little jump. So we bend the sit bones back, draw the feet together. Use that momentum, push down really hard through the hands to lift, hop your way forward. If you want, inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lower the seat, all the way up, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands join together, we straighten through the legs. Exhale, standing Tadasana. Amazing. Taking a breath. Then go ahead, coming back into our Utkatasana. So finding your foundation, sit bones come back, we draw them down, we inhale, squeeze that core here. Really lift up through the chest as we engage the core. Then this might be enough, or if you want to, rise into the balls of your feet. Feeling everything engaged here, keeping everything joined into centre. Then as slowly as you can, lower the seat all the way down to the heels. Nice. Very spicy. So coming into Dharma variation of Malasana here. So you want to have the feet, the toes together, the heels kind of facing in and the knees drawn out. So this might be enough for you. Take your traditional Malasana if this doesn't feel comfortable. So feet down, taking that variation. Otherwise, from here, finding that lift and length through the chest, this might be enough. Maybe you want to walk the hands forward, or maybe you want to take the bind. So you can take the hands all the way around and then the palms face up. And then this might be enough for holding on to the feet, round through the spine, and allow that forehead to feel like it's rounding down, melting down here. This is a really juicy stretch through the back, through the hips. Again, using this time to breathe through this tension. Enjoy this little bit of stillness. There's a lot going on through the mind, but the body is still. And when you're ready, coming all the way back up, wherever you are. So this could be enough for you. You might want to stay in your Malasana. Otherwise, coming into Bakasana Crow pose. So options here. If you know how to modify, then please take that. Taking like a block to your head, taking blocks underneath your shoulders, or maybe you don't want to have it in your practice today. Two options for coming into full crow. So coming onto the tops of the feet, coming onto the balls of the feet, we really want to snuggle those knees in towards the armpits. Plant down, spread wide through the fingertips. Round through the back like we did in our Malasana. We look forward, gaze forward, push down. Maybe one foot comes up, maybe both. If that feels like a lot, you can also take, and the hip flexibility feels a bit much there, you can take the knees just towards the back of the elbows as well. So this will be a slightly lower crow, but equally as powerful. So again, you can take that knee position here. And breathe in here, finding that strength, engage that core. And then you can either lower down, step back, or maybe jump back to your half chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, tuck under the toes, push back, downward facing, lower the knees, sink the hips. Come into a very well deserved wide-legged child's pose. Amazing. Breathe in here. Allowing that body to feel the energy moving through it. Feeling that beating of the heart. The blood pumping through the body, cleansing you. Making room for any change that's needed. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. And ground down through the hands. Tuck under the toes. We lift all the way back to our downward facing dog, coming into our flow. So we'll do a flow on each side. We'll work to either side of the mat, and then we'll start to take a little bit more of some active range of movement. So finding your downward facing dog. We inhale, the right leg lifts high, three-legged dog. Exhale, start to draw that right knee in towards your chest. Arch through the back, think cat back. And start to lower your shin down to the mat. Don't let it drop. Inhale, draws you back up, cat back. Nice, sneaky. And then step that right foot in between the hands. Lower that left knee down. You should start to be feeling a little bit warm now. And then starting to get into your low lunge, your Anjaneyasana. So feeling into the hips here, maybe taking a little motion from side to side, forward, back. Then inhaling, the arms reach forward, so like overload that front leg. Exhale, take circles, take two more, inhale it forward. Exhale, open. Inhale, forward. This time holding the arms overhead, keep that back toe tucked, power through the legs as we rise up, crescent lunge, nice. Taking any modifications you need to. Then go ahead and hold on to opposite elbows, so we're pushing the forearms away from each other here, finding that engagement in our crescent lunge. Breathing into this space. Then release the hands, pivot that back foot, we open up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Finding your alignment. Heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot, squeezing through the thighs. Flip that front palm, we inhale, shift forward and exhale, take it, reverse the warrior. Feeling that side stretch through the right hand side. Inhale, reach top. As you exhale, move back through warrior 2. Right arm to right thigh, we lift up and out. Extended side angle, Utthita Padvakonasana. So opening through the hips here, pushing down through the feet, staying here, or maybe you want to take that right hand, open out, so it's like you're holding on to a big beach ball here. So we're squeezing everything in. Nice, one more breath, feel those shakes, embrace them. Inhale, reverse to warrior, this time straighten through that right leg, reverse triangle. Exhale, open all the way out, arms in line with the shoulders. You might want to pivot that back foot in a little bit here, and then start to send the hips to the left, weight towards the right, and then we come all the way down. Your variation of Trikonasana, triangle pose. So maybe taking a block here if you need to. Maybe you can lower the hand all the way down, whichever feels right for you. Sending breath here. Then bending into this right leg. Place the tips of the fingers diagonally to the right front side of the mat and allow this knee, this right thigh, to drive you up as we open into our half moon, our Ardha Chandrasana. We'll move over here so you can see me. Nice. So flexing through that back foot, finding that stability, open through that left hip. Hands can be on the hip or maybe up in the air. Maybe you want to even hover those right fingertips off the mat. Finding that power today. Then planting the hand back down. Take that left hand all the way over to frame that right foot. Any little modifications that you need to. And we inhale, lift the chest. The left leg is out long. As you exhale, bend into that right thigh. As you tap that left knee towards the back of the right knee. Take two more. Inhale the leg up. Exhale, tap. One more, inhale. Exhale, tap. Inhale, hold it up, standing splits. Your variation. So this might be enough. You might want to be up on blocks here, or maybe you want to take the right hand round the back of the right calf and allow this to draw your forehead down towards the right leg. Keeping that engagement through the legs though, don't just let them be soft here, relying on flexibility. Any variation that you wish. One more breath. And start to take the hands back in front of you. We bend back into that right leg and we draw that left knee in towards the chest this time. So think cat back, so we're pushing away with the shoulder blades. From here, start to lower the sit bones down, coming onto the ball of the right foot. So coming through a fun little transition. See if you can take that left foot all the way through and out. So flexing through that left foot, holding here, maybe taking those arms out in front of you. I'm feeling it too, guys. One more breath. Nice, very well. Take pistol squat if you've got it in your practice. Then lower down the legs. Don't let that left, don't let that left leg come down towards the mat. Maybe bend in that left foot. Take the right hand around the outside of the left foot, the left hand behind you. We open out into a nice twisted side stretch here. Breathe in here. So again, leg can be bent if you need. Or open and lift. Maybe the gaze comes behind you. Finding that breath in this pose. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, twist. Then release that leg. See if you can allow it to hang there for a little bit, finding the active engagement. Take the right hand to join the left. We pivot all the way around. So we come onto the ball of the right foot. The left leg threads all the way up and back. Three-legged dog, nice. Hopefully we all end up back in three-legged dog. If you get a little bit tangled, don't worry. Just come back to meet here, amazing. I'm gonna do it on the other side and then we'll start to make our way back down towards the mat. So inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, draw that left knee in towards your chest. Exhale, lower that left shin, don't let it touch. Inhale, push away through your shoulder blades, draw it in and step that left foot in between the hands. Lower that right knee down here. Again, anything that you need to do to allow yourself to just sink into this low lunge. Breathe in here. Finding the engagement in the flexibility. And then we inhale, send those arms forward, overload the leg. Exhale, open circle the arms. Two more, inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale, hold it up, keep that back toe tucked as we lift, maybe a little bit slower, all the way up, crescent lunge, nice. Take any little adjustments you need to here. Holding on to opposite elbows, push those forearms away from one another. Find that engagement through your whole body. Breathe in here. Release the hands, pivot that back foot, we open all the way out. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Finding your alignment. Flip that front palm, we inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Keeping a bend in that left leg. One breath. Inhale all the way back through warrior 2. Left forearm to left thigh. Inhale, the right arm reaches all the way up and over. Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. Grounding down through the outside of that right foot. Stay here. Maybe grab your giant beach ball and we hang out here for 2 breaths. Embrace the shakes, breathe through it. One more breath. Woo. Take it all the way back through warrior 2. Reverse the warrior, straighten that left leg. Reverse Trikonasana. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, take it forward. Maybe shimmy that back foot in. Keep it in alignment with the mat. Then send hips to the right. the left arm reaches all the way forward and then down. Your variation, Trikonasana. Breathe in here. Rolling that right shoulder blade back. Keep that chest engaged, the thighs engaged. Then bend into that left leg. Place the left fingertips towards the outside of the left foot. Use that thigh to power up. Ardha Chandrasana, left side. So flexing through that right foot, open it out. Take any variation of Ardha Chandrasana that you wish. Maybe taking Japasana bind. Maybe hovering those left fingertips. Find that stability. Nice. Maybe then lowering back down. Take that right hand all the way, framing that left foot. Taking the hands a little bit in front. And then squaring off the hips here. So the right hip faces down, the chest is lifted. Inhale. As you exhale, bend into that right leg as you start to take that left leg. As you start to take the right knee to tap behind the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend and tap. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend and tap. Inhale, lift. This time take the leg all the way up to the sky, coming into your variation of standing splits. So using the blocks, taking that left hand behind the left calf and drawing that forehead down if you wish. Keep the glutes, keep the thighs engaged. On each inhale, create space. On each exhale, can you allow yourself to encourage a little bit more depth? One more breath. And coming all the way back, planting through those hands. Start to bend into that left leg and draw that left knee in towards the chest, then cat back. Rise up onto the fingertips, maybe the ball of the foot as well. And then start to thread that right foot all the way through. Whew, flexing that right foot. Here is enough. Maybe. Maybe lifting the hand. Maybe lifting one hand. Then lower the hands. Lower the sit bones. Keep that right foot lifted. Bend in the right leg. Take hold of the outside of the right foot with left hand. Right hand comes behind you. Extend it up. So taking that nice stretch through the outer hips. Maybe the gaze goes over the right. Breathe in here. Catching that breath. Slowing it down. And from here, release that leg. See if you can find that active engagement. Fire the core, fire the glutes. Left hand comes all the way around. Lift up through the sit bones. Sweep that right leg all the way through. Three-legged dog. Shake it out if you need. Step that right foot down. Lower the knee. Sit back. Child pose. Absolutely amazing, everybody. Breathe in here. Nice. Allowing yourself to check back in with the breath, with the body. One deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. Go ahead and plant the hands, tuck under the toes. We lift all the way back, downward facing dog. Amazing. Don't worry, we've done the flow. We're just going to start to take a little bit of active movement here. So start to walk the fingertips all the way back towards the feet. Bending into the knees, roll the spine all the way up till you reach standing. Nice. And from your standing position, you're going to take a variation of Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, but we're not going to take any straps or use our hands. So we're actually going to use the active engagement through our lower body and through our core. So grounding down through the right foot. As you inhale, start to draw that left knee in towards the chest. The hands can be up, or maybe they want to be on the hips to find that support. So again, throughout all of this, squeezing into your center here. Then extending that left foot out long, flexing through the left foot. This could be enough. You might be up here, you might be down here. There's a lot going on. Breathe in here. Finding that control with the breath. And start to take that left foot out to the side, but we want to aim to keep the hips in alignment here. Finding that core engagement. Nice. Take it all the way back. Can you lift it a little bit higher? Hold for 3, 2, 1. Nice. Bend the knees. Shake it out. Amazing. Whew. Finding that active engagement. So this is really good to practice alongside working flexibility. It also allows us to bring a lot of mobility into our hips, into our thighs. So taking it on the other side this time. Taking the right knee in towards the chest, finding your foundations, grounding down through the left foot. Start to extend that right foot, flexing through the hip, keeping the hips in alignment. You can take a little bend in that knee if it feels a bit much. Don't lean back here. There's a tendency to want to do this to counteract. We're not aiming for that. We're aiming for that core engagement. Breathe in here. And maybe start to take that right foot out to the right. If there wasn't a wardrobe there. Breathe. You guys, you can do it. Feel that work into the right hip. Take it all the way back to center. Can you lift it higher for 3, for 2, for 1? Bend the knee, exhale it down. Woo, give it a little shimmy. Give it a shake. Relax it off. Nice, nice, nice. And from the back of your mat, start to peel the spine all the way down, walking the fingertips down. Then walking the hands all the way back to downward facing dog. Take the right leg up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. And then exhale, step that right foot in between the hands, lowering that back knee. So keeping with the idea of active engagement, we're going to start to work into our half or full Hanumanasana, so our splits practice. So if you want to, find your half Hanumanasana, which is a good place to start anyway. Start to flex through that right foot. Maybe keep those back toes under for support. The chest is lifted, so think cow back, and we draw in the right hip back and away. Pushing down through this right foot, this right heel really helps with the engagement. This might be enough, or you might want to fold over. That feels like a real juicy stretch for you. Stay here, no worries. If you have blocks to hand, this could be a really good time to get them and placing them on either side of the hips. So maybe you want to start on the highest level and then working your way down to lower. So finding this setup for full Hanumanasana. So with this, finding the active engagement, a really nice way to do this is to flex through the right foot, but keeping a really generous bend in that right knee as you allow your hips to sink forward. So we want to do that same kind of engagement as we do in half splits, where we draw the right hip back, the left hip forward. So when you allow your hips to go from completely sinking down to then lifting up, drawing, you'll probably be able to see that change, that engagement in my thighs. Feel like you've got 2 headlights on your hips and you want them to face forward. So this might feel like enough. And this can be quite a nice stretch to do again, in amongst, even if you have full Hanumanasana. Otherwise working down. So maybe you can take that foot a little bit lower. Again, for all variations, I want you to keep that back toe tucked here for today. And maybe working your way all the way down to your full Hanuman. So flexing through the right foot. Again, keeping that engagement, keep that back toe tucked. Hands are near your hips, lift through the chest. And wherever you are, it really does not matter. It's about a process. It's about feeling into your body. And it's also about just not pushing yourself too hard. Your body will start to soften into things in practice, in time, when it's ready. And wherever you are, start to take the hands down towards your blocks or towards the floor, drawing that back knee in, and then start to draw that front leg all the way back. So coming out of it is pretty fun. Tuck under the back toes, push down through the hands that we lift all the way up and back, three-legged. Shake that leg out, nice. Release that tension. Then plant it down. Same on the other side, so inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, step it in between your hands, nice. So again, coming into that low lunge and working into your half Hanuman. So drawing the right hip back and down, pushing down through the left heel, sorry. Folding over or working your way into your variation. So bending through the left leg, tucking the right toes. And be really mindful that just because it can feel really nice and really accessible on one side, this might not be the case for the other side, which is so true to a lot of us in our practice. So this is definitely true to myself on this leg. I have to spend a lot more time working into it, finding that stability. And then taking any option that feels right for you in your body. Trying to keep those back toes tucked under so you can allow that right hip to support you here. And breathe. Soften where you can. When you're ready to move out, moving out with just as much kindness, just as much awareness. So grounding down through the feet. Draw that right knee in. See if you can engage that left foot all the way back to under right toes. Lift it back up, three-legged, shake it out. And come back to your downward facing dog. Take your gaze in between your hands. You can either walk, step, or maybe you want to have a little jump all the way through to seated. However feels right for you. Yes, we made it. Amazing, guys. So good. So coming into our Paschimottanasana, our forward fold. So moving any little space, any bits of flesh ground down through the sit bones. Taking your strap here if you wish, or taking your arms all the way up and overhead with inhale. Flex through the feet, engage through the thighs, and as you exhale, start to hinge forward. Maybe keeping a bend in the knees if you need to. So this whole pose is actually quite an active engagement here. So it's like we're pushing the thighs back as you lift up and forward with the chest. And then coming to your variation. Allowing the breath to take you deeper on each exhale. Feeling that nice release all the way through the hamstrings, but keeping everything active. Tucking the chin in towards the chest, walking the fingertips all the way back to your sit bones. Nice. And then shuffling the sit bones towards the top of the mat. And then lowering down, maybe with a cheeky little bit of core control. If you have any little excess energy, otherwise just coming all the way back. So if you want to scoot the tailbone under, then we lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Take it all the way down. Coming into our Setu Bandhasana, our bridge pose. So any options here as well. So if you feel ready for it and you have it in your practice, we're going to take 2 rounds. So these 2 rounds can both be full Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel pose. Otherwise, come in with me, we'll start to take 1 bridge pose and then you can stay with that or take wheel. So setting up here. So in our bridge pose actually. Let's get a block and let's take the soles of the feet as close to the glutes as feels comfortable, hips, feet distance apart. Take the block and place it in between your thighs. So I want you to really squeeze the block here. Push down through the feet. Take the hands and just place them palms facing down towards the mat. Start to push down through the feet, scoop that tailbone up, squeeze the thighs and just see what happens when you do this. And then start to lift up through the hips, through the thighs, maybe opening through the chest. Maybe you want to tuck those shoulders underneath you, maybe interlacing the hands. And find this engagement here. So find how much you have to squeeze the block, how much you have to push down through the feet. So wheel is again a real balance. So a lot more effort comes from the lower body than you might initially think when doing this pose. Feel the nice opening through the chest. One more breath. Then untucking the shoulders, allow the vertebrae to roll all the way back down to the mat. And then you can keep the block and take that again. You can take it without the block, or if you want to, then add it on to your full wheel posture. So setting up exactly the same as you did previously. So feet stacked in line with the hips and in line with each other, grounded down to the earth. Start to inhale, we lift to our bridge pose. Then start to flip the palms. So the palms then face up to the sky and the fingertips face away from you. So we're planting them just in line with our shoulders here. We push down and we use that energy that we created when we squeezed the block. Push down through the feet, push down through the hands, and then we lift all the way up into our full Urdhva Dhanurasana, our full wheel posture. So again, don't let everything feel loose here. We want to push down through the feet. Open, feel engaged through the chest. If you're quite advanced here, feel like you can lift and drive that chest a little bit further towards the back of the room. Maybe taking one foot off. Maybe taking the other. If that feels like something you want to do today. One more breath here. And then lowering back down with that same control. So we lower down, lowering down the head, rolling down onto the shoulders, release the hands, and then roll that spine all the way back down. Amazing. Take feet to either corner of the mat and allow the knees to just rest in here. Taking your hands maybe onto your belly. And starting to let everything soften. Everything release. Take some nice deep exhales if it serves you now. Let it go. Anything that did happen, anything that didn't happen, just let it go. And then start to draw your knees up to tabletop. Take your arms out in line with the shoulders. Cactus in the arms if you don't have enough space. Then allow the knees to drop over towards the left, coming into a nice supine twist. Gaze can be up to the sky or taking it across over your right hand. And feel this nice nourishment of the body. Feel this twist massaging your organs, resetting the spine. Softening into the shoulders. The lower body's heavy. Turn your head back to centre. Draw your knees back to centre. Maybe a little rock from side to side. And then allow your knees to drop all the way over to the right. Again, gaze can be up or over to the left. Closing the eyes if it feels nice for you. Breathe in into this space, into this back body. Really feeling this grounding element working its way now. Feeling soft. And start to draw your knees all the way back into centre. Taking your hands around the shins, maybe just giving yourself some nice circles with the lower back. Really releasing any little bits of tension that you might have been feeling. That's still there, just let all that last bit go. And draw your knees, draw your forehead in, squeeze it tight, and then exhale, release everything off. Take your feet to either corner of the mat, allow the feet to rest out heavy. Take your arms beside you, palms facing up to the sky, and closing down the eyes here in our final resting pose, our Shavasana. Take a deep inhale, inflate the belly, lift the chest. Then exhale, sigh out, let it go. Nice. And then start to really soften the breath here. Let it be gentle, let it be light. Starting to feel the benefits of this strong practice today. Allowing it to be completely absorbed by every cell, every fibre of the body. Being absorbed by the mind, the strength, the dedication, the calm in amongst the storm that you have cultivated today in your practice. Allow the body to be really soft here, really heavy. Feeling those last bits of tension just melting down into the mat beneath you. So you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you need. I would recommend you staying here for another 5 to 10 minutes, maybe more on the 10 side as you've worked so hard today. So for today, thank you so much for practicing with me. I'm going to leave you here to enjoy.